Warning. The following presentation may contain excessive alcohol consumption, obscene language, controversial opinions, heavy metal, and actual wrestling chat. As such, it has been rated M for metal.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. As usual, I'm your host, the heavy metal hooligan, Mickey Vago. Now, I'm going to keep this intro quite short today because, I'll be honest, I am nursing a fucking massive hangover today. Last night we recorded the newest heavy metal mixer. And things may have got a little bit out of hand, and I may have got a bit carried away. If the first mixer, Archer, got very drunk, it is not a patch on the nonsense that we recorded last night. It's just a disgrace. It just ends up being a complete shit show. So yeah, look out for that in a few weeks' time. As far as today's episode, we've got Billy Strachan from the SWN podcast in. He's a guy, he does put WrestleZone over quite a lot. I've been a guy out with WrestleZone. It is a little bit different to when I'm chatting to the WrestleZone guys. It's a different perspective on some things. But as I said, I'm in no mood for this fucking bullshit today, so we're just going to jump straight into it. So here it is. It's Billy Strachan. Still can't get used to that.
I know, it's the first time I've seen it the other end. I hate it.
It's fucking, it's ominous, like. Right. So here we are. Welcome to the latest episode of Mickey's Mosh Pit. Up to date, we're bringing in some outside talent. It's yes, it is the founder of the Scottish Wrestling Network website and Facebook and whatever else, however platforms it's on, and the podcast, the very successful. I don't know if it's won an award yet. Is it won an award?
I think I gave an award. My own awards last year.
There you go, award-winning podcast. It's Billy Strachan.
I don't know where I'm laughing at outsider talent out of that intro. I think talent is stretching it a little bit, but yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, like you're near WrestleZone. Like I can't put WrestleZone over to a great extent, but yeah, you're an outside talent. We're bringing an import.
I'm up there. I'll be up there with Bill James and all the greats.
Fuck Bill James. Right at the start. Then I get me going.
I'm a big fan of the podcast. I've listened to all of them, so yeah. I know what will grind your gears.
Yeah, I get every button to press. So, like I said, you've started the podcast and whatever, and I don't know if you want to take credit or take blame for me starting this one, because that's essentially what it is. It depends.
I'll take credit. The amount of times I get mentioned, I don't know if I'm just listening at this point for the stories or just to hear my name pop up, but just go, yep, that's me.
It's essentially that, like, if you're the wrestling guy on your own, it was like, how many names did I get mentioned with? How many times did I get mentioned with? And it's like, and it got fewer and fewer. It's like, fuck you.
Well, like I said, I was starting to get to the point where I was going, right, once they've been on Vagos, then I'll try and get them on mine because it's all crossover thing. Until I put out Scotty's third one, and Johnny Lyons went, "Oh, you haven't contacted me yet." And I was like, "Shit, okay." Johnny, you want to be on?
Well, you say that, like when this episode goes out, the one previous to this, I'll be another mixer, and Johnny's on that one.
Oh God. Okay.
So yeah, and he had the shovel out. He was scared to bury anybody that night.
he had a few
So what you're
drinks.
saying is I should just make that the explicit episode and not just wait for a second go around. Just put it.
No, yeah,
Just let Johnny be Johnny.
Take the filters off and just let him go. Although saying I would say start early because he was only on half the podcast because he had to go to his bed early. Yeah,
I'm all right with that. Half 6, maybe finish by about 11. Be good.
Oh no, 10 o'clock was his bedtime. He was gone. Like obviously, I'm still too cheap to buy the full version of Zoom, so like I've got to cut every 40 minutes or whatever it is. And it's like the first 2 he's there, and the third one is just for us. He's not there anywhere.
He's not pressing the button the third time.
No.
I had the full version for like 2 months, and then when I realised I had no like double guests for foreseeable, I was like, fuck this, I'm not paying money for this. Just
Yeah. Well, they gave me one. They gave me one for free. The one I did with Archer and Garrick. It was still like we were still in proper lockdown then, so I don't know if they were still getting out free that time. And then the next time would have been the birthday episode. I had more than 3 people, maybe 2 people on, and I was like, nah, you've 40 minutes. That's it. Kicked out.
in the arse. But oh well, I mean, I suppose they've made their money through this lockdown,
Yeah.
so they can afford to just boot folk out after 40 minutes.
Yeah. Although by that point, like we'd been doing like I don't know if we'd been doing training calls at that point. Like we'd been training Zoom calls, and we'd figured out that you'd like to start. We were trying to recreate a whole new fucking like invite or whatever it was until we realised now you could just use Aldean to go straight back in again. Like nobody, like the first couple of times, nobody thought of doing it. It's like no, you can just that same one just straight back in again.
I thought, yeah, no, I don't like this. I like Zoom because it's so simple to use, and it has to be for me. But this whole like scheduling things, I can't work it. I did it once, and it was the only episode that I was like, really like, this is kind of the big time. It was the Joe Hendry one. Yeah. I was like, right, I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to schedule it, make me look like a professional here. And I scheduled it fine. I thought I went into the meeting. Joe wasn't there. I thought, this is a bit fucking weird. He's supposed to be a professional. Why is he not in the meeting yet? And then I had 3 emails in my inbox going, Billy, are you in the meeting yet? I'm in the meeting. Are you in? Is this still happening tonight? I'm looking, going, how the fuck did that happen? so I eventually worked it out, but for the 40 minutes that we recorded with them, I think I could have got an hour if it didn't take 20 minutes to fucking find the Zoom room to get in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
disaster.
Like I said off air, like I loosely schedule them. I've got a starting time. It might be half an hour before or after that start time I'm actually on. But the guys they're told well beforehand. It's like I might maybe on it this time. But yeah, try to organise some of these things. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I don't know how you can be bothered. Like I've got one every 2 weeks, and you seem to hear like 3 some weeks. It's like, how the fuck have you got the time to deal with that?
I think it's the joys of working from home. I'm just like, what am I going to do? And because I work from home, my wife now works like in an office. She did work at home for a bit. She just wants peace for a couple hours. So she's like, just whatever evening, just tell me in advance so I know how we're organising tea and that, and then just fuck off for a couple hours.
If you need got somebody else to go and speak to, please.
It's pretty much it. And this is my only way. I never spoke to anyone before lockdown, but now that it's happened, I'm like, I better actually speak to people. I better actually make pals in the end of the day. My funeral's going to be very, very sparse at this rate, so I might as well start speaking to folk and maybe people will like me.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like you've got a lot of credit for me starting this because like WrestleZone did the original ones, like the very start of lockdown, the proper lockdown, with Chris McDonald or Chris Clark, whatever he was calling himself at the fucking time, and that got me a taste for it, and I was like. And then, like, obviously, you started your reign and asked me on. And then I was like, I could do someone. Because at that point, it's like nobody else asked me. I said, just thought it started. It's just to speak about myself at this point. Get myself over. And
I was so excited to start it. I was like, I'm going to do a podcast. That's what I'll do during all this lockdown stuff. Right, I've organised it. I've got my first guest. And then the next maybe day or 2 afterwards, fucking Speaking Out happened. I was like, no, is this the time to start a podcast? It was. So.
That must have been fucking soul destroying going through all the old stuff and he ain't cut all that.
I think by the end of it, I had 900 articles between results and spotlights and interviews and that had to just get binned. It's fucking horrible.
That's like all that years of work and it's just undone in basically one fucking month. That was it.
Yep, that's fine. It means I did a big old overhaul, and now it's pretty much just it's a podcast that happens to do other things. So all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, like the podcast was all like the way the podcast turned out. Is that the way you planned it to be? Because it's a hell of a lot more professional than this is.
Well, it's actually less professional than I aimed it to be because it was supposed to be like just 30 minutes. We'll speak about wrestling, and that would be it.
Yeah,
and that's it. 30 minutes, and then they started getting a bit longer, and I was like going away from wrestling quite a lot. And then Scotty's episode came up, and it just fucking destroyed everything. And I was like, it'll be half an hour, and then I was like, an hour is fine. Okay, an hour and a half's maybe a bit too long, but that's the maximum. And then 2.5 hours of me and Scotty speaking about, I don't fucking clue what we spoke about for that amount of time. And yeah, that kind of destroyed the format of it. So it's just a case of I hit record, hope to hit an hour, and if we go any further, then great.
Yeah,
that'll do.
But it's like I did the same thing when I started. I was like Scotty was the original guy I pitched it to. Like I was like run it just to see if it was a good idea. So I didn't want to start it and just think, this is garbage. So I run it past Scotty first to say, look, think of doing this thing. Like try and make it like the thing I looked at was like I've said before, I'm a big talking shop guy, big fucking Gallows and Anderson. So I was like that. Kind of like 30 or 40 minutes, we'll get some guys on, just chat some nonsense or whatever. And I made the mistake of getting Scotty in the first one, and that was at like fucking 2 hours.
And when I was listening to it, there was nothing that we'd ever spoken about. I have no idea how many stories Scotty's got, but
he's got a lot. Like,
yeah,
like I've been backstage with him for years now. Like that's fucking 14 I started, so that's like 7 years I've known him now at this point. And there's still stuff he tells me I've never heard before. So he's just full of, you get what I mean. He's full of stories.
I'm sure there's still some stories about his time in other places that I haven't yet been able to drag out of him. But there was a lot in the most recent one that we recorded, which was again another 2 hours ish.
Yeah, and
it was just. That was the one where the first two we were just going by the book and being professional, and the third one it was just like,
just let him go.
Fuck it. Yeah.
That's. I find that's the best. Like, because I know when I did your one. It's like no swearing. So it's like a lot of things you can see. Like you can see the fucking cogs turning, try to form the sentence before it comes out. It's like this. Like normally this would be lettered maybe 6 swear words, but nah, I have to fucking reel it in and I know a few of the other guys I've spoken to have been like, again, Dynamite was the same. Like Dynamite said exactly the same thing. He says, "See, trying not to swear, it's a fucking nightmare."
Oh yeah, as soon as we stopped recording, as soon as the bit said recording stopped, he was just fucking just going off. Every second word at that point, I was like, Jesus, you fairly kept it in there.
That's basically what he told me. He says, look, you stopped recording, and basically the first thing he said was, "How the fuck was that then?" I was like, well.
It is weird. It's you can't see them. You can see them. See guys just going like, and then he did a thing, and you can see them all kind of takes a split second going, don't swear. I mean, some of the more recent ones I've done, I've ended up being swearing first. I'm like, fuck's sake, that's just ruined it. I've got to put explicit. As long as I don't swear more than once, I'm good. I'm operating. I used to call it the Highlander rule, but then I realised that that's not really good for Scottish wrestling in general. So I called it the there can only be one for those that are looking for context on that. But yeah, and then I changed it to just PG rules. You get swear once, and then it's fine. If you swear more, then it goes explicit. And then, I mean, don't think anyone cares either way whether it's explicit or not. But
No.
I know Caleb was quite disappointed the first time he heard me swear in a podcast.
Burst his bubble.
I know. I'm not so pure and wholesome. I try to act professional. So try.
Like I said, it's like your podcast sounds infinitely more professional than this just fucking nonsense is. Like
I love it though.
You actually do some research, and like I did anyway. Like I know a lot of the time I was like the pals I've got, the guys in wrestling. But it's like I didn't go and look at fact check or anything. It's just like I write stuff down that I vaguely remember. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
I had to, because I did one with Sarah Marie Taylor, and I was like, right, cool, there's loads of stuff to speak about. But by that point I didn't write notes. I just did it off the top of my head.
Aye.
Because I've watched it for the last 10 years-ish, so I kind of know just about what I need to know. And as soon as I started speaking to her, my mind just went blank. I thought of no fucking questions. And it was the most, like, for me, it was the worst 40 minutes that I had to record. And then when I was doing the wrap-up, going, oh, your social media, etc., etc. And then she did all that, I went, oh, what arena, what venue did you like wrestling in? Because then the questions came in, because I was fucking finished. Oh, it was just the worst. And folk listen to it, go, oh, it's not that bad. It's awful. You weren't in my brain during it going, I've got no questions. Fuck all. I've nothing at all. Hope she mentions someone so I can ask about them. That's about all I've got now. Just fucking just wild.
See, I just set the bar low to start with. It's like it's going to be shite. If you like it, it's a bonus. At this point, I'm just trying to pop myself and the boys.
Oh, I mean, some of the stories that I've heard in it, the one with Aspen, I haven't went back to watch it yet, but when you're telling the story about the tag team table match, and you're trying to look for me, I was like, I'm going to have to go back and watch that match now, because it was, it was an emotional day.
Yeah, it's like I said, I proper heat with you that day. Like, near that day, like running up to that. I remember it. I looked for the review and I couldn't find it. Like I was getting quoted, but if I remember, I might just be misremembering this completely now, but like it was a big paragraph, and it was like, oh, can the Kings of Catch formed at the Rumble, and Kings of Catch did this, and they'll give me the winners in a hand, and right at the bottom was like the Rejected or the Champions or whatever it was. Like, you fucking dick.
I had a terrible run forgetting about the Rejected, because I did it with their feud with the Outfit as well. It's like, oh, they've never beaten the Outfit, and you put a comment going, I've beat them fucking twice, thank you very much.
I was like, hey, we're kind of like at that point, like when you were saying about the Anarchy, like that was our fourth reign as fucking champions. I was like, they're just gonna lose the belts instantly. I was like, what dick? Like it probably more than it should have. It riled me up. I was like I said, Raspberry, like I commute, and I knew you sat in the balcony, and I'd been through the curtain looking to see. I couldn't see it, so like if you look back at the footage, you can physically see me fucking scanning the balcony to see where you're sitting. So like when we win, I hit that fucking buck. I was like, fuck you.
That's why I like having Adam on as well, because Adam actually does the proper previews, and I can just fuck about and just go, nah, they're not gonna win.
These guys are my favourites. Fuck these guys.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, that night there's been, I was fucking furious, and thankfully my wife wasn't at the show with me. She went out with her pals, like because she's a grown up, and she had to bear the whole like hour and a half home of me just furious about this table. Which, it just goes to show wrestle just fucking reel me in every time, every fucking time. And then
you say you were furious. You still are furious, because you've had Aspen on your podcast, you've had Dennis, you've had Martin, you've asked them all the same fucking question about that fucking table.
I haven't had Martin yet, but that fucking question's there, so it's definitely getting asked. It's that there's like a couple stories that seem to, I'm getting wee bits of the puzzle every time. Marty Jones at Aberdeen Anarchy, that's one.
Oh, that was a fucking cracker. Like I've heard that like I don't know, like 10 different people, and like Aspen told it. That's the first time I've heard him tell it properly, and there was bits of that story I'd never heard before. Like, just it's fucking unbelievable.
it's the best. I got the first half, like I got the bits that you could put out on I suppose professional podcast, and then I got the rest of it after we stopped recording, and it was just unbelievable. And that, and the other story that I keep getting snippets of is Johnny Lyons' meal deal.
Oh yeah, no, he did. Like I said, we had them on the last podcast, but I think that came. I think he told that when we were in the recording.
It's the gift he keeps giving, because I think it started with Jason Reed told the story, and then I asked Aspen about it. So when I've got Johnny on, he's putting his videos that he's got coming up, and it's one of the stories that are coming up. I was like, no, I need to get this. I need to get this before you do a wee
in fact,
rant about it.
It was Aspen that told me about it. Like when we stopped recording, it was him that told me, because I told him I was getting Johnny Lyons on, and he told me that story, and I was like, fuck, we should have recorded that.
It's incredible. It's just I've between that and we did Tuck of the Draw, and he talked about his rage at cinemas. I'm so excited. It's one of the episodes I'm most excited and scared to record, because I know that if I let Johnny go, then I have lost my podcast. The weeks after will be Johnny Lyons podcast or SWN presented by Johnny Lyons. I'll fucking lose it.
It was like, he's a genuinely good guy, but he's intense. He's just overly excited and intense. Like, fucking hell, John, just calm down.
My light's on so you can actually see it. There we go. Right.
Bye.
I've got a ring light like the TikTokers.
I'm not that fancy. I've just got the big light on in the living room.
Well, if I put the big light on, because I'm bald, it
just get glare.
I just lose my. Yeah, I end up just having like my glasses down. You don't see anything else. It just merges into the background. So I would start wearing a hat, but I think I would just look. I would just look stupider, to be honest. So
I thought
I'm just.
I did invest in a microphone, a proper. Well, I say a proper microphone. It wasn't very expensive, but it does the job better than this thing does.
Oh yeah. I've got my Beats. That's probably the most expensive thing that I didn't buy for this podcast, and I was like, my microphone broke, my headphones broke, and I thought, oh, I've got those. I've got my Beats. They'll do the job, and that's where they've been for the last fuck knows how long now, because they're wireless. So if I want to actually use them outside, I've got to charge them, and I can't be arsed doing that. So that's just where they sit. So that is the most expensive piece of equipment I have for this podcast, because I've got a laptop I inherited from my wife, a ring light I found at B&M, and a webcam that this one I bought off eBay for like £6, but then it stopped working on my laptop for some reason. So now I'm just using the one through the laptop again, which it's like it really zooms in on my face, and it's so fuzzy. It doesn't look great, but it'll do. I don't. The audio gets more hits than the video, so clearly people don't want to look at my face, so it's fine.
It's like
I'm not offended.
I'm this like the audio gets quite a bit, and then like sometimes the YouTube gets quite a bit, but then it's like I've not entirely worked out how the fucking analytics work there. If it's like if some guy watches it like in two halves, does that count as 2 views or 1 view? Or so then again, I'm not entirely sure.
No idea either.
I'm sure there's probably some bit you can find that tell you like. I don't know what the name for unique listeners or someone would be, but I've not found it yet. I've not looked. So I'm just counting every view I get now. But I care if it's the same guy watching it twice.
I know there was one episode that I had that like it had like 100 views in a day, and then I think YouTube kind of figured out the algorithm, and then the next day it dropped 50 of them, and I was like, fuck! I thought I was getting loads of views here, but clearly it's one person just going.
Right, the Jason Hyde one, because I remember him thinking,
one.
It was like 100 club the next day. I was like, were you just watching that over and over again?
it corrected and lost like 50 views, and then they've come back slowly. But I was like, Jesus Christ, this one's super popular. This is amazing. This is the one. This is the big time. The rest of them are going to be amazing views after that. But no, not really. I mean, if they hit over 100, I'm quite happy in total. So Facebook, audio, YouTube. If they hit 100 views in total, that'll do me. That's quite happy with that.
As long as there's somebody fucking listening and watching, it's like the numbers I'm doing. Like it's mainly the boys that are watching it, plus a handful of other folk that have said that they're watching it, like yourself and Adam and handful of other guys. So like if
And Kyle needs to
Kyle,
get his obligatory mention in podcasts now. He likes getting mentioned.
Oh no, he did put me over. I did see he put me over on Twitter tonight for getting guys on the podcast. So I was like, oh well, I'll be that like.
If you're looking, if you're starting to run out of outside talent, get Kyle on. He's got a podcast now as well.
Yeah, no, I've got a run. Well, I've got the run of guests up till the next 4 episodes after this, and then I think I've got 4 episodes to fill, plus someone for Christmas. Excuse me. And then after that, I don't know if I'm going to carry on doing it or if I'm going to deviate, because obviously the wrestling will be back full time, hopefully, probably by then. So it's like, how much time have I got here to do it? How much time have the guys got here to do it? And so
yeah, that's what I've got at the moment. I've got 4, so I've got 99 in total episodes like mapped out.
Yeah.
So I need to get one more guest who I've asked if they'll be on, but they haven't responded. But I think they've actually got like a fucking internet troll at the moment hounding them. So I really don't think they want to be on, because they'll just have this fucking troll going at them. So I've got like my 100 episodes mapped out, and then afterwards I don't know what I'm going to do, because like I say, shows will be back. I'll find it more difficult to get people on because they'll be busy actually training and doing shows. So I've kind of got a kind of backup plan, which is just doing like a magazine show kind of thing. So we just do previews and that, because then we'll actually stuff to speak about, and then try and grab folk for like 10-15 minutes, preview a show they're on, and then just throw it in there somewhere. So it's going to be a lot more work for me, which I'm not entirely happy about, but it's a way to keep doing the show and that without me having to write, because I fucking hate writing. I hate it so much.
And just leave it to Adam. He can do the writing.
Absolutely, because there's only so many ways. There's only so many ways that I can write pinfall, or they've won by 1, 2, 3, and they got the victory, and I fucking hate writing it. It just gets in my tits at the end. And when doing lists, I always like the idea of doing lists. Love the idea of it. I've got the top 10, written them all out, and then I look at it and go, I have to put fucking reasons for this. Can I not just put their number 10? Because that's where I fucking put them. Right, number 9. I keep getting ideas to do things, and then when I start doing it, I go, oh fuck, I haven't thought about the rest of this. I can't be arsed. Back into the bin it goes. Fuck, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm very much the same. I'm an ideas guy, but not a follow through guy. Like, I've got a lot of ideas and very, very little follow through on any of them. This is probably the one that's got the most fucking follow through on it, and I'm shocked.
I'm shocked that I've got to almost 100, because I probably thought I'd do maybe 10 and go, nah, I don't like this. This is too much. Just too much people, too much peopling. I'm quite happy just to sit in the corner and just watch the wrestling and near react, because I'm an arsehole like that. And then that nothing annoys me more at wrestling than myself watching wrestling, because I'm thinking, oh, this is amazing. And then I can see pictures of myself afterwards, like Brian Batsby take and all that kind of stuff. And I look like the most miserable fucker in the place.
At least you're not asleep, which we've had guys in a guy in the crowd. He's very well known for falling asleep at fucking shows. Like, how can you fall asleep at a wrestling show?
It's fascinating watching other people at a wrestling show. There was a guy that I can't remember which show it was, but it might be the same guy. But I sat down, and it was me, Kelly, and this guy. So I was very smart enough not to sit next to him. She didn't like me for doing that. And he was there. He had his wee jotter out, and he was writing. He had the results from the previous shows. He was writing them down. And I feel awful for doing it, but I laughed at him. I laughed to Kelly, going, "Look at this guy! Look at this guy writing the results down with his pencil in his jotter." And I turned around and opened up my notes app on my phone, and did
exactly the same thing.
And then as soon as you went, "You did the same thing," I went, "Oh, I'm the dick here. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Okay."
Yeah, it's some fans are like, I love the wrestling fans, but some of them are hard work.
Oh, I've seen far too many getting just bulldoze through because they just win a fucking move, which is just the best thing to watch. It's like you're at a wrestling show, mate. Fucking move if you see someone come towards you. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, it's like as we record this, fucking WrestleZone's just announced their first date back, which I believe you're gonna miss because you're elsewhere.
I was so as soon as they went, no, there's gonna have a show coming up. I was like, right, it can't be 2 weekends. There's 2 weekends this year. It can't be. And then as soon as they put it up, I was like, that was fucking one of them. That couldn't be. So no, I'm in Edinburgh for Comic-Con, and it's not like we could just go, oh sorry, we could reschedule it because that's when Comic-Con's on. So I kinda, and I'm just like, I can't fucking believe it. So I'm just gonna just share it and hopefully just sell some tickets for you, just so I feel better about myself. Going right, everyone, you go to this, so I can't go. So you go, go,
Yeah.
because that first show is going to be amazing, and I'm not going to see a fucking second of it.
Yeah, it's hopefully I think it'll be packed. I'm fairly certain there'll be a lot of people there because obviously we've been head wrestling since fucking March, not last year, 2 years ago. Fucking lost track of time now.
Was it February was the last one? Because it was supposed to be the Rumble the month after, which I wasn't supposed to be going to either. And then SWA cancelled their show the same day. And then I was like, that's fine, they've cancelled. Fuck it, I'll get tickets to the Rumble. Great. And then got tickets for the Rumble. And then the next day, we've cancelled that show. And I was like, I just want to see some wrestling. Jesus.
Yeah, it's been shite. Basically, it's nothing. Like we were just back at training. We could stop training. We were back like end of last year, and then had to stop again, and then we go back. What was that? Last month, 2 months ago now. But it was like non-contact, and like you can only have one guy at a ring at once, so it's like very little we can actually do. But just this past three weeks now, we've had full contact training, and I'm broken. It's just I'm fought a bit. I thought I was better. Like my back was knackered before, and then like through lockdown, I wasn't eating anything. Like it was fine again, and then like a couple of weeks back, full contact training. It's like, nah, it's fucked again, just in bits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they're giving you plenty of time. Well, it's that 2 months to kind of everyone to get kind of up to speed again before the first show back.
Like as usual, wrestlers have been doing it the right way, giving guys time to fucking adjust it. Unlike one of the other Dundee companies, for I believe I've run 2 shows at this fucking point.
There's so much to say, but yeah, that still baffles me about the whole thing. They keep saying that tickets are flying out, but the tickets are also being sold at the venue and not being sold anywhere else. So how are they flying out? Yeah. And then if is a show sold out, you stop selling tickets.
Well, it's how many folks
sold out show? Yeah, 25 people. If you only sold 25 tickets, it's sold out because you'll have 25 tickets to sell. You know.
Yeah, and they're all your family and friends that have got them. That's why they're sold out beforehand. So it
must be a massive pile at Tay Cash for Kids somewhere of
freebies. Yeah, it's like, that's what it's come to. They couldn't fill the Caird Hall, now they can't even fill a hall in Furfor. It's like that's just.
Oh man, I mean, I enjoyed when I went to the shows. I enjoyed myself because I just like wrestling, but. Yeah, it took a while for the old rose-tinted specs to be shattered, and once they were, every time I look back on stuff, I go, "Why the fuck did I like this? Why did I believe them? Why did I speak to them?" And I've tried to learn who to promote and who to. I mean, I'm still not doing it right. I'm still some folk that probably they'll look at my stuff and go, "You shouldn't be speaking about them. You shouldn't be them." It's just. I'm learning. I'm the whole thing. I'm still outside of the circle. I'm outside of the bubble. So I'm only doing what I can with the information I'm presented with.
That was the thing with the speaking thing last year. It got diluted to such a point. It was just fucking vendettas and fucking guys with grudges were just throwing shit at each other. But they're like, we need to change all this. The point is, the fans didn't fucking care at this point. It's like
I don't know.
none of them can like the majority of fans that go to wrestling shows when I can any of this shit's even happened on Twitter or whatever. It's like they'll be fucking oblivious to it. It's like they've no idea of the politics backstage or any of this other nonsense that goes on. They see wrestling. That's just wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they'll see a poster in the high street and go, "Oh, there's wrestling on. My wee Timmy likes wrestling, so we'll take you to the wrestling." It could be every nonce under the sun that's on the show, but they're not going to know, are they? So
That's
I think folk don't realise about Twitter is the minority. It's shouting into the void. So I don't like getting drama on Twitter because I just find it fucking pointless. I don't see the point of getting involved with that. So whenever there's like skirmishes, and even if I agree with some of these kind of things, I'm just like, I'm not getting fucking involved. What's the point?
To stay out of it, or you just get. That's like some cunt comes out the fucking woodwork, the fucking fire pot. It's like, okay, man, it's not worth the fucking hassle.
Absolutely, and it's just I've far too many run-ins in the past where I'm just like, that can't be arsed. if I like something, I'll like it. Full stop. I'm not gonna go, oh, I hated this. Even though sometimes during like the Thunderdome era, I did like to have a wee bit of fun moaning about wrestling just because I was sitting there looking for myself mostly. And I was just watching it going, this is a bit shit, isn't it? But I'm still here at 2 o'clock in the morning watching it like fucking mark I am.
So. Yeah. No, I fucking lost all interest in watching any fucking sort of wrestling. It's out with the stuff that we do.
I like the Thunderdome.
I watched
it's too much effort.
I watched the big 4 pay-per-views last year, and this year I watched like night 1 of WrestleMania, and that's it. That's all I've watched this year of WWE. I see clips of like Impact and AEW and whatever on Twitter, but that's the extent of the wrestling I watch these days. It's just a day interest in it. It's too much.
I'll still watch the pay-per-views just because I've got the network and I work from home, so I can turn up to work. I mean, I've went through the whole cycle of fat guy clothing during this lockdown. So I started coming to my little office here in jeans and a t-shirt because casual, and then I thought nobody sees me, joggers it is, so joggers and a t-shirt, and then it got to spring. I was like, shorts, t-shirt. And then summer came, and now I'm vest, t-shirt. And I thought I didn't want to scare your viewers because there's a couple of episodes coming up on my show that I'm wearing a vest, and I'll look back on it going, I look fucking horrific. So I thought I'd at least put a t-shirt on for this particular episode. But no, I'm now a vest and shirt guy, and I've just completed the fact I've got Crocs as well. So it's just an awful look.
Yep.
It's a horrible experience that this working from home has become. That I'm not ready to go back to the office. I don't have any clothes that I could. I'll rock up in a fucking tatty grey vest, some shorts that are far too short to go out in, and just like white socks and Crocs, and we go like, right guys, let's do some office stuff.
Yeah. Luckily, I was working all through lockdown, so I've not had the privilege of descending into that.
It's not be good. I mean, today I didn't. This is gonna sound rank when I say it, but I got up. I start work at 9, so I got up at 2 minutes past 9. Logged in, and then I went for a shower at 3 o'clock this afternoon because I forgot. So this is really just. This is a horrific. This whole room. It looks clean. It is a fucking terrifying. I've got to have a window open because it's just a war zone. It's just awful. I come in here at 9 o'clock ish, sit down, and I go, fuck, I haven't showered. I better go for a shower now. So hope none of so if my employees are watching this, I am here 9 till 5. I do not leave this office.
Yeah,
Shower for half an hour and then come back and go, oh, no, nobody's phone. Thank fuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. There's not many people watching this.
It'll be me, Kyle, Adam, and then everyone else is going, right, better make sure that we'll put him with some of the more smellier fans when shows come back, just in case he's forgotten to shower today.
Yeah, you'll fit in with Executioner.
That was so. that was a weird interview that I've done with Executioner.
Yeah.
One of my favourites.
I've yet to listen to it, but I'll look forward to it.
By the time this comes out, it might be out. But yeah, it's a wild ride from start to finish.
I can imagine. I debated about getting a system on, just in one of the mixers, just sit there and just what to say in it, just to be on the screen. Just doing whatever a system does at him.
I would absolutely love that. Like I said, I think it'd be just maybe like 4 of us outside of WrestleZone, and they'll just pop for that. Just going, this is the best thing ever. Just really watch it just in case he moves. Just But no, I had suggestions for like the next big episode was going to be all the lords.
Yeah.
And as I don't know how I can control it. I don't even know where to start with it because I'm fairly certain if I got Alan on, then again, much like the Johnny Lyons like possibility, I'll just lose control of it very quickly and then just have him mispronouncing names for an hour.
No, Alan is a fucking riot. He's a lot of guys at WrestleZone's favourite wrestler. Just like anytime there's a match, like everybody's fucking in the monitor watching to see what he's got to do next, and it's tremendous. Like that last match I had that he properly broke me. Like just the match we can never talk about or see again because it was very ill.
I heard about it.
Yeah, but before the coronavirus got very serious, it's like we can never show this again. But yeah, like he properly fucking broke me that night. Me and Mikkey both, just the two of us were in fucking tears.
I remember it was one very, very early. It was 2014 maybe. It must be because it was like first day with my wife the day before. I went to see WrestleZone in Nairn, and by this point I was still doing OSW TV, and like any sane wrestling fan, I made myself a belt to advertise my website.
I was gonna say, like, that was the first show I staffed, and I remember the guys telling us, this guy's got his own belt. That's him that runs the website. Well, I was like, what a fucking
knob here. I know. And I had it. That actually makes more sense to the story that I have now because I had it under my seat because I took it and then realized I am a fucking idiot taking this. Why am I doing this? And then Alan took it from underneath my chair and hit someone with it, going, "I've hit you with this boy's toy belt," and then gave it back to me. And I felt worse. So I think that was the last time I ever took it out of the house because I thought, nah, I just look like a dick here. And it was like, it was well intentioned, thinking, oh, it'll be cool advertisement. And then I realized when I was sitting there going, I don't want this attention on me. I don't want someone going, like the first thing, if you see someone else, like you were saying, if you see someone with a fucking toy belt, a grown adult, I would have been 24 at the time, a grown adult with a fucking toy belt at a wrestling show, the first thing you're going to say is, well, fuck that fucking idiot who took a toy belt to a wrestling show. And yeah, I was a fucking idiot who took a toy wrestling belt to a wrestling show. So
to be fair, it was Nairn, and that night it only did like 30 people or if that. Because that's
exactly like
that's like the
like
last
that
thing
many people knew.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I always remember that because guys like, that's Billy. Like, he's got his own belt and he does the website now. It's like, oh, okay, it's good to know.
The worst thing I ever did though is I took it to the Roddy Piper Q&A. And that's the picture I have with Roddy Piper, is me with his fucking belt. And that's the picture, if I've got to do a thing on Roddy, that's the one I pull out because it's the only picture I have with him. And I just look like the biggest fucking idiot in the world. So it's just, we all do things to try and advertise shit. I've learned that maybe just getting a t-shirt with my logo on it, that might be the best way to go. Even then, I feel like a knob because I had like the OSW TV t-shirt for a while, and that's the one I've got the picture with Mick Foley in.
Yeah,
I can name dropping everywhere. And I look back on it going, I really should have just not, because I've changed the name of the site since. I've rebranded it since, so I'm looking at it going, that means fuck all.
Yeah.
And He even asked me what it stood for, and I just felt like an idiot going, "Oh, I've got a website, and it's about Scottish wrestling." And as I was speaking to him, just going, "Why am I telling him this?" Say something like, "My favorite match of all time is him versus Edge at WrestleMania 22." I should say that. I should say, no. Here I am explaining to Mick Foley, who'll never visit this website, that I have a wrestling website. And the fact at the time I didn't pay for the domain, so I had to go for, it's at oswtv.wordpress.com. Like, just shows that I didn't give a fuck anyway, because I didn't pay for a domain at all. I didn't actually put any effort in. I just like it. Meeting wrestlers is the worst thing for me, because I just descend into a fucking idiot every time. Lita's still the worst one. That's the worst ever experience I've had.
I've heard about this.
She was lovely. I was just the worst person. Oh God. See, I told you, if I get onto something I hate, I'll just fucking ramble about it for ages.
Just keep
Ted
going.
DiBiase was a knob.
Scott, he's got heat with Scotty. Again, that.
Well, what happened was he did it. It was the second time I met him. First time I met him, he was great. It was fine. He showed me a picture on his phone. Thankfully, it was of Hulk Hogan and him, not of anything dirty. So he was great. It was fine. And second time I met him. Second time I met him, I like broke my arm like 3 weeks beforehand, which is like my main go-to story about anything, because it's probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me ever. But I broke my arm, so I had a cast on, and I was kind of struggling because I had to take the train down, and it was a big fucking heavy bit of kit. And I went to the west. It was the Westgate, Overgate,
Overgate,
some gate,
yeah, in
Dundee.
Yeah,
and I was third in the queue, so I thought, well, quite good. I'll get in, get out, go for my lunch. And he came stomping through because it was late. There was no table. We were kind of just standing in the middle of this shopping center, like fucking twats. And the first person got their thing signed, grand. He looked fucking annoyed anyway. Second person went, all good. I was the third one, and he wouldn't stand up. So the picture of me is him sitting down looking just fucking raging, and me with this my massive cast like this going, trying to fucking keep it up, keep the cast up at the same time as trying to get a picture and smile. I was such a miserable fuck that day. Just, I mean, I could probably guess why, but you just, him and Animal, they're the worst ones I've met for their behavior. But anyway.
Yeah, see, I've only had one, and it's like you mentioned about the start, that's the only one I've ever had any problems with. Just because he was
oh, cool. I never met him. I didn't see the point. I never saw him wrestle other than at Aberdeen Anarchy. I didn't watch NXT at the time, so I didn't.
Yeah,
I knew of him, but that was about it. So that was all. So there's some I regret not like saying hello to Aberdeen Anarchy shows. Like, I would have liked to meet Hornswoggle, but he had this reputation at the time that he was just a bit difficult, and I thought, I'm the arse for that. I'll meet Hurricane and be quite happy, and just move on. But yeah, Hornswoggle would have been one I'd like to
he was sounding off, like he stood and chatted for it, like he'd been doing everywhere and said hello and when he first appeared at the bar, and like, he was a friendly enough guy.
And I had a thought I would have, because I still take belts to shows, but only Aberdeen Anarchy because I know I'll get them signed. So
yeah,
I took my European belt that year for Hurricane to sign, and I thought I was going to take my cruiserweight and get them both to sign it, but I was like, that's for me and Hornswoggle. It's fine. I just want to meet Hurricane. I'll be quite happy then, and European belt's the best belt ever, so that's had to get that one, get that signed. But yeah, of terrible, like, you've already heard the Lita story, so I want to go into that one again because it's like the worst day of my life. But meeting Billy Gunn was an experience because he was so nice, and my first words were, I've liked your whole career, even the smoking guns. And then as soon as I said it, I thought, why did I have to put even? Let's just say I liked all your career, full stop. including the smoking
Including-
guns.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but no, we would just not mention them.
like if you
Might
put
be
in
easier.
an even, you put in the even that time you were kicking about with Honky Tonk Man. That would be the even.
Oh, rockabilly.
Rockabilly, that's the one I was looking for. Yeah, that would be the even in that situation.
No, I was a huge fan of the one Billy Gunn. I thought in 2001 that he had a chance to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It was 10. I should again put that into context. As Jeff Jarrett says constantly in his podcast, context is king. But yeah, it's the 10. He was the final 4 or something, and then he got hoofed out by Austin. It's like, you bastard, Austin. How dare you?
Yeah, no, I like the smoking guns. I thought they were good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I was just a panic. Hacksaw as well. You signed my wee tag team belt there because you asked me, and I was too afraid to say no. So that was. I mean, I took Royal Rumble, the anthology disc thing for him to sign because he won the first one. So I was going to get him to sign, but by that point I got too scared and was just like, "Do you want me to sign this?" On you go. Just, yeah, sure, fine. And then that whole first Aberdeen Anarchy was like, I never really travelled anywhere outside of like Bury, generally on my own because I've such a poor sense of direction anyway. And then Aberdeen Anarchy 2013 came around. I was 22, so I thought I'll be brave enough. I can go outside of my own house. Took the train through. I didn't know Aberdeen very well at all, so between the meet and greet and the show starting, I didn't know where to go. So I was reading Hacksaw Jim's Duggan's book in the gym behind the beach ballroom because I didn't realize that fucking Cadona's was. I could see it, but I didn't know what was there. I just saw a big fucking like Ferris wheel and stuff, and I was like, I don't know what that is, so I'll stay close by because I don't know if I'll get lost. And since then, I now just like hang out in Cadonas and all that kind of stuff, and I'm smart enough now that I drive to the shows. I know where they are, which is always good. So I know that I can just like fuck off somewhere and come back. But no, that first one, and then I took the train. So I had the show finished, and I had to get out when the show finished because the train was like 10:10 was the last one, and so I was just
close.
It was I got there just before. I didn't know what I would do if I missed it. I would just have to sit there and just because my phone ran out of battery. I was just sitting there. I would have had to sit there overnight. Maybe cry until someone come pick me up or that, and just go, please phone my dad. Just tell him to come pick me up. But no. There's another time I took a wrestling. Yeah, you don't need your notes. I've got this right. So, the other time I took a wrestling belt to a show was W3L in Elgin, and it's my second ever Scottish wrestling show, and I took my European belt. I don't know why. Actually, I know why. Because I took it because the show was only 5 minutes from my house, so I thought I could at least take it home without the fear of getting nicked. So here I am in the queue with my belt underneath my hoodie because I didn't want anyone to call me a mark for wearing it. But I was like, it's really excited. I'm going to wear this belt. My belt will be cool. I was the same day I bought a Sin Cara mask. So there's a picture of me sitting, waiting for the show to start in a Sin Cara mask, my wrestling belt, and a Beer Money t-shirt. And it pops up every so often in my memories. It's like to haunt me. Like, why did you do that? Along with like going to a Halloween show in Dundee. I was going to go as Honky Tonk Man, but my wig didn't arrive. So I just wore the Sin Cara mask and it was like the Honky Botch Man. But I was sitting in a crowd of kids with an Elvis get up on and it cut down there. I mean, to be fair, looking back on it, I still wasn't the most creepiest person there, but outwardly, I did look creepy.
Yeah.
To be sitting, see a children with my shirt, with my chest out, and just like going, I'm enjoying the wrestling here in my Elvis gear, looking like a fucking knob.
Yeah, you were just this side of the line of being called out and speaking out last year.
Oh, this podcaster, stupid children with his shirt off.
Cancelled.
To be honest, by the time that, yeah, like you're saying, it was Paul just towards the end, so it would be the case that we would have got cancelled for that fucking shit.
Yeah, it's like I said before, you see them at like wrestling shows now, the fans. It's like they're all out. You see like, every different kind of fan there is there.
There's no shame at wrestling, which
Nah.
sometimes is a good thing. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, see, like like I said, wrestling, we've got a good like crowd of regular fans that come, and because we like a lot of our stuff's storylines and characters and that. It's like we get a lot of kids and whatever. And like, luckily enough, we always seem to get some sort of reaction out of them. But yeah, it's that first time going out, like this Halloween show, like whoever's out first is just got to blow the fucking roof off, regardless of who it is.
Who you could send out? I mean, if it's not Scotty, it's got to be like Alan. I think that for me, that's the two ends of the spectrum. Yeah. Scotty for the big cheer, and then Alan just to fucking ruin it.
See,
I'll probably have a predictions post. Well, actually, no, I won't, because like I say, I hate fucking writing. But yeah, prediction matches for the first WrestleZone show.
You'll have a plan for putting one up and then never follow through on it. Like...
Yeah, I'll have the matches up and I'll go, this is the card. Oh, why?
I have no reason
to see. That's what I want to see. Well, actually, no, I'll put up a really shite card because I won't be seeing it. So I'll put up a really good card for the next one.
Yeah.
All the nonsense could be on the first show because I'm not going to see it. So then.
Yeah, like what they're actually got to do in that show, then I can. We've not been clued in as to what's happening, whether they got to keep going with storylines or just start from scratch. Then again, but regardless of everybody, like I said, it's like whoever's out first has got to place has got to explode.
Yeah, I'm so gutted to miss it, but I'm so excited that wrestling's coming back. So I'll accept it. I'll accept it. How dare you book how dare they book a show on a day that I'm not going to be anywhere near it?
Well, they're saying that, speaking about writing reviews or previews or whatever it was, I did see the one for Battle of the Nations popped up on Twitter or whatever it was. Like,
the 2016 one. Oh my god!
Like I always put down the worst match I've ever had was us against the Outfit and Turf. And I'd completely put that match at Battle of Nations that year out of my mind. I'd completely forgotten about it, and it must have been that fucking bad. That's why it was. I'd never thought of it.
Which one was that again? Was it? It was Jimbo Bannon.
Aye, us, me and Archer against Thunder and Jimbo, and it's like that was like I said with the Anarchy preview. It was like kind of big spiel about Kings, and then we were at the bottom. Luckily, we just got kind of Archer and Thunder were great as usual. Whereas Vega was passable, and then the rest of it was just Jimbo. And it's like I've never seen him bury anybody so fucking hard before. It's like fucking hell.
I felt so bad because, well, I didn't feel bad at the time because he was shit. But the next time I saw him was I don't think I put it in the review, but I kept calling him Flappy Hands because
he does.
I did put that in there. Great.
But that he did have flappy hands. Like he was renowned for his floppy fucking arms.
He just sold like a Magikarp. And yeah, so next time I saw him was in Keith, and he was great. He was really good, but I'm fairly certain he eyeballed me several times during the match, like looking at me going, "Look what I can do," and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my god, he's actually wrestling. He's quite good."
Like Jimbo's a good guy, but like some guys just aren't good for wrestling. He was one of them. He just, for whatever reason, he just didn't get it.
But no, that one, I shared it and then I read it because I thought I'm sure it'll be positive, and then I saw that match, and then the one after was Sammy versus Lucy Cole, and I wasn't very fucking complimentary about that either. So I was just going, oh, Lucy got dragged. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't enjoy that, did I? So yeah, that must be around about the time I was being told that I need to be a little bit more critical about shows, because I was so positive. That's how I kind of broke my ties in Dundee. Because I got told, because I like watching wrestling. I don't want to focus on the shit stuff. I like the good stuff. And then I got pulled aside by someone who will go nameless, but I think he's got a low opinion of me, and I've got a low opinion of him. So he pulled me aside and said, "You need to be a bit more critical in your reviews. You need to point out things that aren't as good." So the next month, that's what I did. I went, "Oh, this is not as good. This could have been better." I mean, I'm not going to go by the fundamentals because I don't know them, but I know what I like and I know what I don't like. So I did that.
As a fan, you've
I'll accept wrestling in general. I like silly shit and I like wrestling. Just give me something to look at. But I did that, and then he contacted me going, "Well, if you didn't enjoy the show, why did you bother coming?" One, I didn't know the show was going to be shit before I came, so how would I know? But and then I had someone else, one of the other guys, contact me going, "Is that how you really feel about the show?" Like, yeah, like, your match wasn't that great. I mean, what can I do about it? Just like, you either want me to say your show's amazing, which I'll gladly do at the time because I wasn't getting paid to do it. It was just a hobby. Or I will point out that there was a shit bit in it, and I will say there was a shit bit in it. It was the same. It was around about the same time I did Hell for Lycra, and Sunday. Everyone knows. Hell for Lycra, and I put out the attendance because I did a kind of rough count while I was there, and I think they put out that there was like 800 people at the show. And I was like, "Oh fuck, it wasn't." So, and I put in my review there was like 300. Was probably how many there was actually there, unless they're counting shrubs and fucking flies. But so I did that, and I got contacted going, this is actually the crowd attendance. So I changed mine by adding 50 people on. I went about 3 to 350 because there was no fucking way there were 700, 800 folk there. I think that's. I doubted it when they put it up, so I checked like the Bonner Hall's capacity. And I was like, there's no fucking way they could have got that many people in there, because that would have been a fire hazard. Not that would have stopped them, but like that would have been a fire. It would have been a fire hazard, so it can't have been that. That's between that and getting told I would get my page shut down because I shared a video of one of their previous talents telling them they didn't get paid, saying they didn't get paid. It was just my love affair with Dundee died very quickly. So.
In fact,
Anyway.
Speaking about being in the crowd at SWE shows, like, I can you're recording with Martin, so ask him about the time he sneaked into an SWE show in disguise.
Hey, I've always been curious, but I will ask. I'll write it down.
It just popped in my mind there, just right there. But yeah, there's one for you.
Was it a Caird Hall one? Because I noticed
it was.
Because I noticed he'd put up a bit about, like, a tweet around about the time talking about it, and I was like, how the fuck did you get in? Because there's no way that you would have got in.
It's a Belter story. I'm not gonna ruin it, but yeah, just ask him about it and he'll tell you.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. That'll be the one that if there's going to be an episode that'll kill it. If it's not Scotty's episode that'll kill the podcast, it'll be Martin's, I think.
Fuck it.
I'll be getting the old fucking poorly photoshopped cease and desist letter, I'm sure. For slander.
Yeah, police have been contacted. No, then fuck off. Shut up.
Speaking to whoever's on I don't know the names of them, Paw Patrol. Speaking to them over the telly just doesn't count as contacting the police.
Just constantly at it is basically it. Like,
around about that time when that video came out, saying they didn't get paid and what have you, and I shared it. The promoter, not the owner, because of course that's Ted DiBiase, but the promoter contacted me, and like say he was going to get my page shut down for slander and all that shit for sharing the video. no, you wouldn't. But he was like, come down to the next show and we'll speak face to face. No, we're fucking not. We will not be doing that. Because one, I don't like confrontation, and two, no, just I'm gonna go down Dundee to get fucking roared at by a big man child. Yeah, fuck off. I'll get involved in stuff on Twitter, but if you ask me about it, I'll quite happily tell you everything about it. So it's fine.
Like Aspen said in the episode of Johan, was like, everyone everyone in every promotion that has ever worked with him has done infinitely better since they stopped working with him. It's like,
yeah,
it speaks for itself.
Yep, that's it. I've got some SWE DVDs. Unfortunately, I can't put them anywhere. One, because it's the company. But yeah, I know I don't like throwing stuff out, but like, I mean, there's some classic Scotty Swift matches in on there, I'm sure. I haven't actually checked, but like, I was going to put them up like in the background and everything, and I realized the cover star on one of them is currently not allowed on the internet, or it's got a restriction on the internet, I'm sure. And I was just looking at it going, oh God, I don't want to throw it out because it could be classed as evidence at this point, but I just couldn't believe I had this stack of SW DVDs, and there's like a who's who of like in jail or on lists of some description that aren't top tens.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of list they're on. Yeah, it's Dundee wrestling though. It's fucking great.
I'll give you my zinger that I said. I can't remember what I said to. It might be Scotty, but I did say that Joe Henry once said that once you get paid, you're a professional wrestler. There's still some wrestlers at Dundee that can't call themselves professionals.
It's like, you look at the roster now, it's fucking Braveheart and a handful of fucking kids, and just the shit arses that wouldn't get work anywhere else because they're that fucking bad.
It's a shame because when I saw some of them get announced, I was like, oh, why? Why go there? Just
like good on names.
Other places.
Good on names that actually got out, that were there for years and years, and they've got out and they're working FCW and whatever else. Like, good to them getting work somewhere else, but there's guys there that'll never work anywhere else because just nobody will touch them.
I was kind of glad this is the first time they started putting out results, so at least people can start keeping a record of who's at the shows. Because me getting results from them was like kind of blood from a fucking stone for ages. And then of course John from FCW was there, so he sent me them quite happily, so it was all good. But no, before that it was so difficult to get any results. I don't know if they just wanted to pretend their shows didn't happen, but they did happen, and it was just a nightmare. But I'm glad
they're that bad. They just didn't. It didn't happen. It's fine. There wasn't a show.
Yeah. No, when I announced that I was like just punting them from the site in general, I think I had 3 emails from their committee asking to be reinstated, and they've just never been replied to. It's like, get over it. One, it's a fucking website. It's not like I'm not fucking the Observer. I'm not like if you're not on it, then you're not important kind of thing. It's just it's a fucking bald geek here who conveniently runs a website, who makes nothing from it other than some Patreon money. So get over it. And then I think people think I take my site way more seriously than I do. I don't care. It's just that's my hobby for the last 9 years. So
yeah,
I don't give a shit. So I eventually realized I needed to punt some of these fucking wrong-uns out. So they were gone. I feel guilty about taking out one of the other ones because the talent themselves did nothing wrong. It's just their owner was a prick.
Yeah.
So, and then ironically, someone who was mentioned in speaking out, which I want to mention because they probably are the type of person that will sue, like, do something about slander or set up a troll account and fucking bother me about it.
Like I said, nobody listens to this. I wouldn't worry with it.
But they had the, like, when I was going back through messages, they contacted me like years before they got outed, and I knew they were a prick anyway because they did something to me, but I took it as like a just at the time I didn't like think anything of it. I just thought I didn't like that. Fine, moving on. All good. And then when all the stories kind of mounted up about them, I was like, fuck, this is kind of pattern of behavior. But anyway, that's a whole different serious thing that we're not going to speak about because this is the Mosh Pit and we're supposed to just have fun. So where was I? Yeah, so they contacted me like years ago to ask me to get rid of a promotion from a site because they didn't want their promotion that they were dealing with at the same time to be on a website that's got the same promotion on it. And I just kind of ignored it in the end because I was like, again, who gives a fuck? It's just a website.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm actually getting all these big names in and making a big like if I was looking Sean Ross Sapp or like Meltzer, then just don't fucking go on the website. It's fine. It's easy. Done. Easy. There's so many ways to avoid watching SWN that a lot of people do it because my hits are very low. So clearly a lot of people don't read it. So don't worry about it if there's 2 fucking promotions that are on the fucking website. Just get over it. It's just life is just fucking be happy, you pricks. That's the story at the end of the day. Just be fucking happy. Just get over it.
Yeah. Like you see how long the wrestling can get back for before Abdi kicks off again, and just be glad it's back.
Oh, just the sheer amounts of. I mean, I don't follow these troll accounts, but I kind of search them on my Twitter, so they appear in my search bar. So they still get the kind of insights and sharing whatever kind of, but they don't know that I'm actually looking at it. And just seeing the fucking, I get that some people aren't happy with things that have happened since speaking out, and people are coming back that shouldn't be coming back, and that's absolutely understandable. But if you're going to spend your whole day creating a really shite pseudonym and spend your day attacking folk, just why? Just move on, do something else. Like wrestling. I mean, if I was told tomorrow that I've been cancelled because I was in a room full of kids with my shirt off. If I've been told I'm cancelled, I will quite happily delete my site and fucking do something else. I'll just go somewhere else. That's not my life. So just
see that's the thing though. Like it's like I said, it's been diluted to a point. It's just fucking at this point just folk with grudges with each other, throwing shit at each other. But there was a while there was like some, I won't say troll accounts, but it was maybe folk that killed someone, but they didn't want to put their name to it, and it just got written off because it come for this account had just been created. It's like, well, nah, there is some substance to some of this stuff, but you're just panning it off because there's no need. I don't want to say they need the balls to fucking stand up behind it, but it's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I understand doing that,
well,
but
there is like I said, there is a lot of ways just folk creating accounts just to wind other folk up, but there was some of this stuff with like substance that like stuff we've had suspicions about for years and years or whatever, or guys that have known about, or it's like, well, you can't just write that off as just being a fucking troll account, but at this point, yes, and then all you can do with it without getting involved.
Yeah, and then the last thing you want to do is then bear the brunt of these like folk behind anonymous accounts, because at the end of the day, it's you can. That's why I don't like speaking about it. I'll speak about this because, like you say, nobody watches, but I don't care at this point. I'll put out what I put out. That is the end of. But I'll mute accounts that if someone follows me and it's like Wrestling Crusader or some pish, I'm just like mute. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm never gonna see what pish you've got for me, so that's fine. But I've totally fucking lost track of what I was saying. So that's a good.
Like, as the host, I meant to keep this on track, but at this point the train's gone.
Yeah, I fucking lost. I don't know. See, I don't drink often, clearly, and I've had 2 beers, and I have lost my fucking train of thought. So that's.
Yeah, we were going somewhere with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably going to be a serious thing.
It was going to be. Like I said, luckily, like none of the wrestling guys were fucking tired with any of this shit because fucking we keep our noses fucking clean up here. It's like,
Let's go outside. You're boring. You're
we
all
are.
boring.
We go to wrestling, we go home again. That's it.
That's all you need to do. It's like I don't like. I'm not again. I don't drink much, and I'm not much of a party goer. I generally don't like going out. And like when I'm seeing all these things at after parties, I'm like, why? Why would you bother?
Like even
Just
the anarchy,
watch-
like some of the anarchy after parties, like I've just wrestled, took in the ring, loaded the van with it. I can't be fucking it.
I know. Well, I've always just like either taken a train back or just driven back. I always trying to be tempted. It's like, oh, I'll go, but what am I gonna do? I don't like. What am I actually gonna do? Am I gonna go in, order wherever it is? It's gonna be somewhere like Seoul or somewhere
Aye.
fucking expensive as shite. So I'll go in and I'll order a very expensive beer. Actually, no, I'll be driving, so it'll be a Coke. So it'll still be $2.50 in my fucking pocket. I'll order a Coke. I'll walk up to yous, and you'll be just discussing anything but wrestling. And what am I going to do? Walk up and go, oh, I had a good match tonight. Oh, there's a shit. I don't like understand being pals with wrestlers. Like I'm quite happy just like bantering back and forth, but I'm not going to come up to a group of yous during after a show and go, oh, he had a great match, guys. You're good at the wrestling, and I'm a big fan, because the first thing you're going to think is, look at this fucking Mark coming here.
Here, you say that, like, I can count the number of times on probably one hand that I've been after a show. But there was one, and I can't remember if it was an Anarchy, the Rumble, or whatever it was. But we were in, I think it might be an Anarchy. We were in Triple Kirk's, or whatever the place is upstairs for Triple Kirk's. Was it Exodus? Something?
I mean, yeah, I'm not the
Yeah,
one to
we'll
ask
go with
about
that.
this, but
I think
we'll go with that, yeah.
Yeah. So we were in there. And then there was a handful of guys still in the pub downstairs. So we came, it was me and a handful of the guys, Archer and I don't know, Bradley maybe, coming, handful of guys, we came downstairs, and there was Scotty and a few other guys were sitting down in the pub. And there was this one fan just sitting beside them. Like he wasn't saying anything, he was just sitting there. And he sat there the whole fucking, until the pub shut, he was there the whole fucking night until we left. And he just sat down beside us and just didn't go anywhere. It's like,
Yeah, this feels like what I would do.
that's weird.
That's it. It's like I know you guys for enough to like tweet back and forth, or maybe say hello at a show. That's about it. So like I'm not gonna like pester you. Like I've never bumped into a wrestler like in Aberdeen when I've been out and about. I bumped into Jonathan, which was an experience in itself. But I've bumped into I've never bumped into a wrestler because again, what's going to happen? I'm going to go, all right, and they're going to go, all right, move on. I'm not going to stop and go, can I get a picture? Oh, remember this match you had in Huntly? I remember. No, I'm just going to do that. So just. But yeah, if I ever see you in Aberdeen across Union Street, I'm not going to say anything. I'll just do the wee man nod. Just go like that. Just like, I know you're there, but I'm going to leave you alone because I've got no conversation to have. So I'll just, you're there. Good. I might tweet you later. That's better. So there you go. Fucking move on.
Yeah, it's like it's just an acknowledgement. It's fine. It's,
A wee awkward wave. And hope you see it, because nothing's worse than doing a wee awkward wave, them they seeing you and you're just going.
How long do I keep this up before he? No, he's just not. He's not seen me. Yeah, like you said to Jonathan there, like there's a few guys have met him outside the wrestler, just bumped into him in Aberdeen and that. It's like I'm glad I dodged that bullet.
He is absolutely lovely and harmless, and I wouldn't say a bad word against him really. But yeah, when I met him, he likes reeling off the real names, which I love because I'm a big geek for that kind of stuff anyway. But I told my wife, like, I can't remember who it was, and I don't want to reveal their real name because people might actually watch this. And I told her some like real names because I knew Jonathan was coming over. And he came over and he said a real name of one of the guys, and she just went, "Oh," said their actual ring name, and he looked fucking furious at this and stomped off and never bothered her again because she's ruined the game now. She has ruined the game that she knows the real names of, as well. But I was in HMV and I was just looking at stuff. Never buy anything from HMV. It's fucking marked up priceless shit. Anyway, so I was in there and suddenly got grabbed by her and like dragged out of HMV. It's like, fuck, what have I done? And she went, I just saw Jonathan come in to HMV and he was walking towards you. He hadn't noticed you. You hadn't noticed him yet. I was like, oh, thank fuck, because like I say, absolutely lovely guy, but I'm done speaking after like a while of just like I'm not a conversationalist. So meeting with him, he's talking at me, and I'm like, I want to look at the pups. I want to look at the.
Like
alone.
He lives in Ellen. Like he lives just up the road from my uncle, and he, for whatever reason, like obviously Ken's are real names, and he must have. I don't know if he's seen like my uncle's name on the door, or somebody's told him what my uncle's name is, so he kens where he lives, and he's like dropping notes in his fucking door in hand, asking for a fucking ring jacket like me and Archer or whatever. And then Archer made the mistake of saying you could maybe get my bandana. And for about a year, he meshes like the Facebook page, like the rejected Facebook page, and it's me that runs it. It's an ND with Archer. And it was for about a year, about every fucking week he would send a message to me about his bandana that he'd been promised by Archer. I said, no, Archer said maybe get a bandana. No, he was promised a bandana. I was like, fuck's sake. And he just wouldn't be told.
I like the story that he sends a list of wrestlers he wants for Aberdeen Anarchy. I love that.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Just amazing.
He's ambitious, I'll give him that.
Oh, aye. Oh, yeah. I've heard some of the ones he wants to get over.
It's always the big names.
Oh, aye. It's the big ones. I think I heard the cat once that was mentioned. I thought, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but, you know, I don't think she can do the wrestling at all. But, so, yeah, some of the names are Paul White. That was obviously one. That was before.
Mark Calloway's on there every year.
Mark Calloway, of course. Glenn Jacobs.
You know. We ken them all.
Oh, yeah, but no, it's and the story that he turned up in a suit when they were announcing the new wrestling representative, and it wasn't him, and he had a huff. That's just
he just looked like his heart had been broken. It's like
that's the best thing. That's why I love. I mean, I do go on about wrestling a lot in my podcast, but that's why I go, and it's just I am for an hour, 3 hours, however long the shows are on for. I don't give a flying fuck if it's not real. I am there. I will be invested in a story, and everyone else is invested in the story as well. Like
WrestleZone just doesn't have characters in the ring. There's characters in the crowd.
I was going to mention the match that's been scrubbed from history, so I can't mention that one. But Damien Russell, we'll go for that one. But no, nothing happened in that match for a good 10 minutes, and I was still going, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm just like, I don't get it. If you broke it down, it was shit. If you went like critical, nothing happened, punch kick, match ended. Oh, nothing much happened. But no, everything happened. Because everyone was part of it and everyone was in the moment, and it's just that's why I don't care if anyone gets sick of me mentioning WrestleZone in my podcast. Someone has to, and everyone else mentions the central belt companies. Nobody mentions up here, so I'll fucking do it.
Largely forgotten about. It's like folk said, like kind of we're as good, if not better than fucking. We can go down to a match with anybody who's doing the central belt and fucking match them step for step. But it was just because we're up here, we just get largely forgotten about. But like, luckily, fucking there's guys like fucking Caleb's getting out there now. He's getting a few bookings here and there, and again, Ryan and Dynamite would be booked FCW. So there is guys getting out there. It's just hopefully fucking that they'll get noticed and open the floodgates for the other guys.
I know. It's more once I've listened to like other Scottish podcasts. I think I might be one of the only ones left. Myself and you. That's about it. I think that's about it for Scottish wrestling now, which is a damned duo. But yeah, so I was listening to it, and they were going through the week of events, and I was going, cool, right? Okay, WrestleZone was Saturday, so that's fine. So I'll hear what their thoughts are on that. And then they skipped to Sunday. It's like, whoa, I can't hold your horses here. But no, that's if anyone listens to my podcast, there'll be a mention of WrestleZone at some point, and generally a mention of 5-star wrestling, because again, that company fascinates me to no end. Just how I know how it went wrong, but like how it went wrong was just amazing.
The thing is, like, we looked at it and we called that like months before it happened. It's like, they can't sustain this. It's just going to blow up in their faces. And eventually it did.
I mean, my favorite random fact about it is the last thing you see in 5-star wrestling ever is Bram flipping the bird to the crowd. That is the last thing you see. And then the show ended. I thought if there's any way to end a show, or end a company, end anything, that was a fucking way to do it. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was something. Like I went to the one that didn't before they had list like proper TV deal or whatever it was supposed to. Me and the missus went to the one in Dundee. In fact, we all
Dominant Wrestling.
yeah, the one it was the one they're on the same night as SWE. They were running somewhere else, and 5-star was running the. I can't remember, was it the fucking hockey arena or something?
Ice arena or something like that. Yeah,
it was something like that. And that was another one that was like, the place was a sellout, wasn't it? Because we'd ordered 2 tickets and they sent us 6. Like, it's like, no, didn't need something. We couldn't get rid of them. It's the name to be at them.
That was the like. I did a bit on it. I wrote about it for my sins, but I was like, how could you get it so wrong with all the people you had? I mean, to be honest, you used PJ Black on the show, who I find the most boring wrestler in the world, so that didn't really help for me. But it's just.
Is that the one that was in Nexus or the core or something?
Aye.
Justin
Gabriel.
Aye.
That's the one he could do all these fancy things, but I just find him so fucking boring.
No charisma. Just nothing there.
What's his character? Oh, he's South African and he quite likes wolves. Shit. I mean, but so that was weird. I didn't like it was called Dominant Wrestling because one, that should be the 900 channel somewhere, and I can't put that on ITV because that just looks weird. Like what are you watching at the weekend? Oh, I'm watching Dominant Wrestling.
Yeah, you have to put the wrestling in there. Just even then, it sounds dodgy.
I know it's like it's gonna be clips for sale. It's like, oh, are you just trolling clips for sale, £3 a go, and just watching? I've never actually done anything on clips for sale. I just know it's a reference again for anyone listening, thinking that that's what I do. But yeah, so it's Dom. It went all wrong just for that, and then I'm just disappointed that SWE didn't just record them going up to the doors in a tank, because it just would have been fun for me to watch.
Except they would have let them in, and they would have just stood there like, and now what?
They stood there like a fan at an after party with the wrestlers, just like going, "Oh shit, you let us in."
Didn't expect that.
Braveheart there going, "Oh, I run this town, so get out."
Yeah. That's why they've got the reputation they've got.
You've seen their I don't spend my time ragging on SWE because I don't want to give them any more promotion than I have to. But their championship like title history is just an incredible mishmash of fuck all. It's just like this.
I can't say I've done a deep dive into SWE's title history, but yeah, go on.
Well, no, I don't know offhand, but it's like they started with a championship that wasn't theirs, and then Braveheart probably held it for like, I don't know, 10 years, breaking San Martino's record probably, and then it was renamed something else, British Empire Wrestling Association Heavyweight fucking Heritage.com Championship, and then it was renamed something else, and then it was unified somewhere, I think. And then it became a world title. Fuck knows how. Because it was defended in Hungary, which is still Europe. So
yeah, well,
I'd give them European. But no, I refused to do that for a year. I think they got really annoyed with it because every time they sent results, when it wasn't John, because he was smart enough not to do it, but he would send it saying SWE World Heavyweight Championship, and I would just put in the results SWE Heavyweight Championship, because you can't call it a world title. Just I'll look stupid if I call it a world title. So just no, tell yourself. But no, their title history is just a mishmash of nothing. Just fucking just because I had to do it on the site for once because I did title histories for a while, and I tried to think, right, where do I start it? I can't start it here because it's supposed to like start here, and then like I can't start it here because that doesn't make sense to start here. So I'm gonna start. It's like, how the fuck do I start this thing? But no, it's and then now I can't put it out because I think half the guys on there are on that special list that was spoken about. So
you just vacant every second title reign.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to speak about SW anymore because, like I say, I'll get a cease and desist on sticker paper or something. So
yeah, the back of a CD or whatever it is.
post it.
I don't know if they can afford that. Ted's surely told his money by now. I mean, they did get their was it training place when they got it ransacked. It's like
yeah.
So why you're on a crowdfunder for that when you've got Ted DiBiase who has millions of pounds or dollars?
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
there's something fishy there.
I know. I mean, I don't think they have Ted anymore because I think he's like 150 quid on Cameo, so I don't think they can afford him.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like that's enough STV talk.
Yeah, aye, fuck him.
Like I said, before, like I don't think I'll get booked to FCW with the amount of times Kev's been buried on this show. I'm definitely not getting fucking booked to SWA after this. Not that I would take it, but yeah.
Everyone's got a story about Kev, so I mean, it's one of those really shitty things for me about say going. He's been fine with me, so I'm not gonna bury Kev at all because he's
I've never met him. I don't care, but like I've heard enough. I got other guys' stories. It's like, oh well.
He gave me a bed for the night when I went down to Dundee show,
Yeah.
so I won't join in the Kev bashing. So when Martin starts it and when I speak to him, I'll just have to sit very quietly and just go, okay, that's yep.
Yeah, just steer him into someone else. It's fine.
I've got plenty of questions. I'm sure I'll find something else to speak about.
Yeah. Ask him about infiltrating SW. You're good with that. I don't think that involves Kev.
I started like doing a bit of backstory research. I went into UK Fan Forum, which was and the amount of times I see Martin's username pop up, it's just he just comes in, winds people up, and then leaves the fucking thread. It's just it's wonderful. It's great. I wish I had the fucking gall to do it. It's just
I know Martin's not fair. He just gets fired on. He doesn't care.
I'll just have 2 beers on a podcast and just start ripping everyone. That's what I'll do instead. That's more fun. That's more my style.
Well, in fact, speaking with Martin and his comments, right? Here's my take on this. I should be the SWN Mega Tournament of Doom champion, and I'll tell you why. Right, so for fucking reasons unbeknown to anybody, I somehow made it to the final, despite only having fucking 40 followers on Twitter, whatever it was at the time, which is, it's only doubled at this point. It's still less than 100. So yeah, so I get to the final, whatever. The final goes on, you change the goalpost, it's 2 hours now. So, well, that's fine. It's is what it is. Now, I'm winning up until like the last 10 minutes or so. But Martin put up a tweet saying, and I can't quote me this because I hadn't, like I said, I didn't do any research. But it was somewhere along the lines of Vago's like a Goodman throws lad or whatever, blah blah blah. Didn't vote for Grant McIver. He's probably one of them. Now everyone knows Martin's a big football guy. So what he meant was he's probably one of the one and a half of the Glasgow team supporters, whatever. Now, Grant Mikkey could have easily done some research and got some context on it, but nah, he fires straight in because he was getting humped, let's be honest. He fired straight in with somehow, yeah. He fired straight in with it. Oh, this is controversial because he means something completely different to what he actually means. Now, I say there's no integrity in that win. That's what I say to you. So he should forfeit that fucking title, and I should be the champion.
It's like the more recent ones that everyone it's one of the guys from Joe Henry's school wins because they've got like fucking a football team or a rugby team that they're pals with.
Like, it's smart.
So, oh no, it's like some people took those tournaments way too fucking seriously. It was like, again, get over it. It's fucking Twitter. Just fucking get over it. I mean, but I will take your inquiry on board because I'm also the guy that got really raging with Dennis about a table. So I know how it is.
Yeah, no, I think the reason I got to the final of that was just I got into Adam's fucking credit. He kept putting up with it. Was just I've got hate every manager I can think of and every single graphic.
All right, I'm going to put the light on so you'll get to see how terrible it is because I'm getting darker and darker. My ring light's doing fuck all. Hang on. It's bad now.
It's fine. It looks fine.
I put the light. I might just keep the light on for future episodes. I think. Oh well. Anyway. Oh no, because my camera's here for my actual recording, so it becomes a halo.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You can see me. Good. Oh fuck, that's worse.
Yeah,
Jesus. The ring light was doing work. There we go.
Yeah, see, multiple angles. That's what you need.
No, I turned it off, and it was like I was part of speaking out, and I was just like ranting on someone. You couldn't fucking see my face.
Anonymous.
He touched me inappropriately. Anyway, right, okay. So
yeah, so like I was saying, like the manager thing. If I got anything out of that, like I'm taking credit for the rule for the next tournament was you can only have one.
Oh yeah, you fucking ruined it. So I had to change the rule because Adam, like, he didn't say so much, but I could tell by his messages that he was having a meltdown with these things. So it was just like, no, two managers. You could change them each round. I don't mind, but two.
Yeah. Like it got to I got through the first 2 rounds or whatever, and I sent him like the list for the next one. I was like, look. And I was just joking because I was under the illusion I was going to make the final. I was like, if I get to the final, I'm going to hate every manager I've picked so far in one graphic. And it's like, ha 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 ha. And then it got closer, and it got closer, and then after the semi-final, I can't remember who it was I beat the semi, but it's like, got to the final, and I just sent him a message, just be like a crying face or whatever it was. And he was like, fuck.
Oh, Adam's great. He did that all off his bottom back. I didn't ask him to do any of these things, and he just does them. And he's probably the best person I've brought on. I've brought people on to do bits and pieces. And the one thing about also his stuff is I don't need to edit it, which is great because I've had some fucking stuff come through. Oh God, it's taken me. I mean, at one point, I did get a review in from someone for a show. A preview, and it was like the day before the show, and I read it and I went, I don't have the time to edit this. It's not going out. So it's not going out. I remember when I started doing the Q&As, like way back at the start, it was 5 questions because I wasn't smart enough to think of any more than 5. And fuck, I could spend a weekend editing them. It's doing spelling corrections, and that's again, it's now why I'm doing the podcast more because I don't need to edit fuck all. It's just if you misspeak, then great, that's on you. I'm not going to be sitting here trying to correct your yours, they, theirs, way, where's, way, whatever the fuck hell you decide to spell a word, or in one case, just send me the whole answers in capitals. Like you can read, right? So I'm hoping. So like clearly could read because you got the question and you've answered it, but you've said it back in capitals.
Yeah, you can see the
Or-
questions aren't all in capitals, so why have you sent answers back that way?
I know, like, or just having each word in every line a capital, which is I find even more infuriating for some reason. But because that just means you've actually taken the effort to hit shift to do it, and that's like you've taken the effort to fuck me off here by doing that. So yeah, but no, the capitals. That's I've spent far too long trying to edit other people's work, and I put it out eventually, and I'm like, oh cool, and then it looks all great, and they get all the credit. They go, oh, that was really well written. It's like, I think it was because I spent the time fucking re-editing, and that's why. Of course, it's well written.
See, just put a joint credit at the end of it, just little wee brackets.
You know what? I might go back through the back catalogue and just go, right, which one did I spend most of my time on? If I spent more than an hour doing it, it's mine now. You can fuck off. If I've literally had to rewrite the whole thing, it's mine. You're not getting any credit for it anymore.
It's like fuck it. I despise fucking editing, and like I like doing this, but see, they didn't interested. So I've got a template now. I've got a bit at the start, a bit at the end, and if there was a pee break in the middle, a bit in there, that's fine.
That's it. Yeah,
that's
what I've got now.
Or
the only pain.
The only other thing
the only pain in the arse is this bitch who says recording now, recording on. It's like, oh, now I've got to fucking spend an extra 2 seconds of my life getting rid of you prick.
See, for some, that doesn't show on mine for some reason.
It doesn't show up, but there's this, when you watch the video, there's this really awkward, because I don't know, I can never remember if it's recording when she starts speaking. So there's this like 10 seconds of when I look back at me just going, hello and welcome to the SWM podcast. And I looked at it and go, I can't have that because I don't actually look like a dork. So I'm going to take it out. But I can never remember whether it's recording when she says recording now. So
like 99% of the guys I've recorded with have made a joke about consent. And like it's before that, I just leave it in. It's fine. So you get this, like it's no content. So anybody listen to it, like you'll care about it now because we spoke with it, but like before then, they'll just hear us saying about consent or anything, and like there'll be no context to it because you kind of hear the wifey at the start saying like she's recording the start or whatever.
It's the bit at the end that I always find, because I'm very awkward with wrapping up shows. Like I do the social media bit, and then I go thanks for being on, and then I'm about to hit stop record, and then they go, oh, it's great, I've really enjoyed it. Okay, right, I'll stay away. Okay, and now I've got to wrap up again. So now I'm like, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for being on again. Oh yeah, I really. I think of another way to wrap the fuck it. It's just going. It's just going. I'll find it. I'll figure out a way. I'll fade it out. It's fine. It's fine. But I've got that really. I think I've got the awkward 10 minutes afterwards where I'm trying to get them off the fucking call. Right, it's like 9 o'clock. Well, literally, it's 9 o'clock. It's like 9 o'clock. Just go away. I want to wrap up now. I've already said thank you twice because you interrupted me the second time. So I'm going to have to just have a good rest of evening at 9:30 on a Sunday. What's left of your evening? Go away. So, but no, it's that's pet peeves, but I don't mind them as pet peeves because they're still taking up the time to speak to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I've run out of things to speak about.
Okay.
I've spoken about it for an hour and a half now. Just like, I'll ask you what your favorite dinosaur was. I mean, I've run out of patter here.
See, you never asked me that. I was disappointed. I was like, well, fuck you then.
I kept forgetting about it, and now every time I write, like I think from season 2 onwards, it stayed in there because the first notes I write the name of the person that I've got coming up, and I write dinosaur, 2 sheep, 1 cow, so I don't forget either questions. And it has been a time where there was one with Taylor Veit recently that I forgot to ask him it. No, it was someone, Tom Humphries, I think it was, but I forgot to ask him about it, and he went, "Oh, I thought you'd ask me about my favorite dinosaur," and I was like, "Fucking hit record again. What's your favorite dinosaur?" And just added it at the end as a post credit. It's a wee post credit scene. So I figured out ways to if they bring it up that I've forgotten it, I'll do it again. But Yeah, so I have to write it on my notes because I'll forget.
You say that like I've got the 3-band question, the dream gig question. Like the last one we did with the mixer with Johnny, like he fucked off halfway through the podcast because he had to go to bed, like I said, and I didn't ask a question, so he had to come back. So like that'll be the same. It's just there'll just be an extra bit at the end to find out his dream gig, and that'll be it. So it'll just be randomly stuck in there.
I've been spending a lot of my morning thinking, who would I have? And then I had to think, who would I have that wouldn't make me get ridiculed? And then who would have that? Yeah, because like, I mean, Connor's one was fantastic. It would make money. I wouldn't go to it, but it would make money.
Like he put some thought into it about like some wrestling psychology. He's like, aye, you did that, but no. So yeah, like for what I listened to, Connor set the bar very low, so it's fine. But like you're saying, it's after 9 o'clock now, so we'll look to wrap this up now. Unless you've got anything else you want to get in.
Oh, I think I've ranted about enough for the last wee while. But no, I want to do my dream gig, and then we can go.
Right. So just before we wrap up, then we've got your dream gig, which you've been delivering about or worrying about, whatever. So you've got an opener, a mid card, and a headliner.
So my thought was who I'd want to see. So I've seen some good bands over the years, including Biffy Clyro, which I hated. So that was fine. So I've seen some bands over the years, but ones I'd want to see. So my opener, and I'm not a scene kid, but Paramore would be my opening gambit.
Right. Okay.
Because it's good poppy stuff. Gets you going, gets you all ready for the rest of the evening. And then my mid card is the one that everyone will just think I'm a knob for. Would be Good Charlotte, because I didn't have the hair for it, but I was a little bit of an emo kid growing up. That was why I thought I was into the cool music, because when I bought Young and Hopeless by Good Charlotte on my Walkman, I would do my paper round, and because it's a Walkman and you put it in your paper bag, I got the remix of all the songs because the CD we keep skipping as it kept fucking walking. So yeah, I'd have Good Charlotte as my mid card, and then my main event, I was on the fence because I've always wanted to see REM because their back catalogue is incredible.
Right.
But it's a bit of a downer to have as your main because they'll probably finish with Everybody Hurts and everyone will be crying and it'll just be a fucking downer of a day. So But
you just do what you do
choice,
with the podcast. You just get Paramore to record an extra bit and stick it at the end.
There you go. Yeah, they can come back and on and do Misery Business or something. Anyway, but and then I thought, right, a band I've always wanted to see. I know plenty of their songs. I would enjoy it. Would be Foo Fighters. Would be my main event.
Right.
Because I think that would be. You'd come out afterwards and go, right, we had a good time with Paramore. Good Charlotte were a bit shit live, but I like the songs. And then Foo Fighters at the end just to kind of amp you up. So that was my kind of thinking behind it. So yeah, that's it. So if anyone thinks that they're all shit, just tell me. And I mean, it could have been worse. I like musicals, so it could be fucking Jersey Boys at the end.
It's infinitely better than I thought it was going to be. Like, it's still not bands I listen. Well, Foo Fighters. But yeah,
originally I was going to have Travis in there because I've seen them and they're one of my favorite bands. So I was going to have them in there, but I thought, no, I'll go for something I've never seen before and make an actual dream gig. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Paramore, Good Charlotte, Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Like,
what a night.
Foo Fighters. I had the chance to see Foo Fighters years ago, before they were big. I got offered a ticket and I was in the pub and I was like, nah, man, I'm in the pub. And I've never seen them since. Like, I would have liked to see them, but it's like, just fucked it.
I was so glad there's so much Biffy Clyro, because yeah, I was so excited to see them, but I'd only ever listened to Only Revolutions, and they went, "Oh, this is a song of our first album." I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, oh, this one." And then at the end, me and my wife were just gonna we're just going to leave because we're like, this is shit. We've heard like 3 songs we may have heard of, 2 possibly, and they haven't even played the ones we like. So what I did, I went onto my phone, I checked the set list because there's some website that tells you the set list of the gig. So it's fine. It's like, okay, right. Bubbles is next. Fuck knows what their 2 songs are because I've never heard of them. So we'll listen to Bubbles and then we'll leave. So we'll listen to that, and then we were out the car park fucking in minutes. It was great. But no, that was the worst. That was 80 quid I spent thinking that we'd both enjoy it, and we got there thinking, oh, we don't know any of these songs. None of them. It's not like I saw Fall Out Boy, and I was going thinking, I don't know fuck all about Fall Out Boy. No sugar, we're going down. That's about it. And then the whole night I was like, I know this one. Oh, I know this one as well. And it was a really great night. So I thought it might have been the same, but no, Biffy Clyro, absolute shit.
Yeah, they're no for me. Like I said, I've never once paid to see Biffy Clyro, but they're probably one of the bands I've seen most because they supported fucking everyone for a while and they were at every festival, and it's like, just can you get somebody else? And part of the reason I think like they got so big is because they're from Scotland, and Abdi got Abdi like them because they're Scottish. It's like, you didn't have to like them just because they're Scottish. They can still be pish. It's fine.
I think they just got big because the Fratellis split up. The Fratellis were fucking everywhere for a good bit as well.
Aye. Yeah, that's a gig. A gig. It's better than Connors.
You wouldn't be buying it.
No.
A fucking cheaper ticket than Connors. Fucking Ariana Grande, Adele.
No, I would turn up late to that just for the Foo Fighters. I would turn up. I'd be in the pub.
We're there. Oh, it's a sad one by Good Charlotte. I could hear it from the pub. Fuck, I'll wait in there 10 minutes. It's all good. It's all good.
I was gonna say I'll wait for the Good Charlotte hit that I was gonna say it, but I couldn't mind the fucking name of it. I could see the video when they're in the courtroom, but I can't think what the name of the song was. In fact, was that Good Charlotte?
Oh fuck. They do have one. It's Young and Hopeless. No, not Young and Hopeless. It's Lifestyles of Rich and Famous. It's from the album.
That's the one. That's the one I was going to look at. Like I got halfway through thinking about saying it, and thought I'd that in the song's called. It's just the biggie. It was on the music channels for a while. Yeah. It did the rounds when music channels were still a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, are they?
No, not at all. If I'm in a hotel now, I have to put on the bloody radio and I have to get past all the porn channels to get there first if I want to have some music in the background. Smile TV, Babe Station, and I'm just like, going, fuck me, I just want to get to that's poor choice of phrasing, but I just want to get to Magic or something so I can listen to some music. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, do you go through the porn channels or do you go the long way around the other way so you miss them all? It's like,
I know, and it'll be the time that the controller stops working. It's the time that your partner comes out of the toilet or something, bathroom, and just goes, "Hey, what are you watching?" I'm trying to get to the music. Honest, I'm trying to get to the music. Just it's stuck at Smile TV. It's stuck. Honestly.
Yeah, that's cancelled again.
I know. What a way to go. Speak. With your editing turnaround, I've got a good 2 months before to curry favour.
Oh no, this one will be great, fairly sharp because like I've got nothing in the back. Like I've normally got a couple in backup. I've got nothing just now. Like it's.
I think I've got 10, but I've got to kind of make use of the Patreon. I don't want people paying £5 to get fuck all. So that's the fun of Patreon. I'm now just like everyone. I'll speak to everyone, and some of them are good. Some of them I find that I'm speaking for less than an hour because they haven't done anything, and some of them just nay up for the banter or the banter. Fuck one, knob I sound like, but like they're just not. You're not giving me anything. So that's only happened once or twice. They're just not giving me anything to speak about, and I'm just like, you're supposed to be selling yourself in this as well. I'm providing the platform to do it. Sell yourself a bit. Right. There was one guy who just zoned out during the fucking conversation. And I was just like, how am I supposed to do anything if you fucking zoned out halfway through a question? Anyway.
Yeah. So with that, before Billy gets started on burying some more guests.
I know. They've all been very nice, but there has been one or two moments where I've thought, what's the fucking point of doing this?
Aye.
But anyway, yeah, it's been very nice.
Like,
yeah, best to stop misspeaking now.
Get Archer on and get a drink in him. Like that's the condition for getting Archer on, because he's he's just a nuisance.
I'll get Archer, get a drink on, and I'll just like put my headset down and just go.
Just
right, speak about something. I'll just fucking leave the room. Come back every so often to make sure he's still awake.
Like, I love Archer a bit, but that episode we did when he just got fucking steaming, it was like, fuck's sake, Archer.
I'll be honest, that's the only one I haven't went back to. Like, I like to give you the numbers, so I listen to it and then I watch it, or I watch it and I listen to it. That's the only one I couldn't, because Archer just like fucking annoyed me so much in it, because I was just like, he was fine at first. Is when he started, like, that whole episode was probably the most clusterfuck one you've done, though, because Connor and Ryan started arguing about football.
Yeah. And
then and Archer tried to take over. I was just like going, this is just, I'll listen to it, but I can't watch it because it just, I could feel, if I was the host of it, I'd feel like going, right, everyone, shut the fuck up, we're stopping this now. But I couldn't say it, but I'm thinking it, just going, shut the fuck up.
No, he did get muted. I mean, like, eventually I just like, nah, mute, that's enough of that, Archer. Stop now. But yeah. But it's worth a watch just to see his descent into drunkenness. Like, he looks fine to start with, and it just gradually goes on. He's just more and more fucked in the background and falling over, and there's a... Aye.
They're all worth watching. Every single one. So everyone is, if you start with this one for some fucking weird reason, go back and watch the other ones. Go back and watch the other ones.
Get the numbers up.
Exactly.
It's a limited run. It'll only be this year and it'll be done. So it's...
Yeah. And mine will be forevermore. I'll be speaking to, I don't think of any trainee's name. I don't want to mention them because that sounds really cruel to do. But I'll be speaking to someone who's just like first day of training. Right, so how's your wrestling career going? Episode 300. Oh, you start training this evening. Oh, how was it?
Have you got merch yet? Because some of them have.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's another tangent I may get into because it just riles me up.
Oh, yeah, that's... I mean, I can go for it. If people are going to buy it, fuck it, have at it. It's weird, but have at it.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting started because I will just get riled up. So we're shutting it down. That's enough because it's...
Oh, that's fine.
It's getting late.
It's almost 10. It's almost John Lyon's bedtime. So I'm going to get... That's new Johnny time.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
So yeah, thanks to my guest this week is Billy Strachan, the SW barrier. I'm not taking the responsibility for any of that.
You did think I would just fucking start burying folk right off the bat with this one, didn't you? Booked it, eh?
Yep, it's a turn up for the books. But yeah, like I said, thanks to Billy. Tune into his podcast, the SWN podcast, which is infinitely more professional than this fucking shit show.
The Mickey Mosh Pit feeder podcast. I get the guests afterwards.
Aye, just warm up here. That's the thing. Like Dennis said it. He says, Billy asked me on his podcast, but I want to do yours first. Is it? As I just so you eye in first, and then you can sound half decent on his one. Yeah,
maybe.
We'll go with that. But yeah. But like I said, thanks again for doing this, and then we'll be back with this nonsense with the other guests I've actually got lined up for a change.